You guys, hi, welcome to another episode of Uncut, where I'm going to be sharing videos about our relationship story and sharing all the in-between because it's so juicy, it's so good, and hopefully it's going to benefit you guys with your relationships.
No, it will.
It will, because we're getting raw and real and personal, and it is uncut because I am not cutting any of this. Which is kind of scary because even the last one I was like, oh, did you just say that? Okay, we did. Anyways,
I know.
We're just going to be real. Basically, it's being real. We're going to be real. How's that for an opener? Okay. So from the last video, we talked about how I got into the friend zone, and I'm really navigating the difficulties of still being friends with this person because I saw that he was an awesome freaking human being, and I wasn't gonna let my feelings interrupt our friendship. But that's challenging too because you want to be honest, you want to be transparent, and the feelings that I had for him just continued to grow and grow. So we got to the point where we did become friends with Benny's. So we're going to talk about that.
That's the best place for a guy.
Oh, yeah. I guess for me, too. I mean, of course, I didn't mind. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Okay.
You really hurt.
Okay, It was a challenge. And then we'll share how ultimately he started kind of like asking me questions to better understand what was going on, because I feel like you were feeling that I liked you, maybe. But anyways, in the last video, I shared that I did attempt to kind of ask what's going on with us, and then I misinterpreted that. But anyways, long story short, so going into 2017,
yes,
it was like January, and then February came around, and I believe that's when we became intimate. You were inviting me over to your place. We would watch movies, and then I would go home. And then you did invite me over for cuddles, and I was like, ooh.
Right? Set the trap.
Set the trap, okay. And so, how would I put this? What was the time period where you were going around giving flowers to your lady friends? And
November.
Oh, that was November.
Of 2016.
So I'm gonna clear this up. So when you gave me those flowers, you surprised me at work with a bouquet of 24 roses.
No, don't throw those on. It was only one.
Was it?
I don't know.
I'm gonna go home and count. I believe it was 2 because it was pretty big and abundant looking.
You still have it?
I still have it. It's dried up in my room. And then there was one rose. I know. Yeah. And there was. Oh God. There was one rose in the middle that had a different color, and when you gave it to me, you said there's a different color because you said I'm different from the rest. So what did that really mean? Because every time when I bring this up, he's like, just friends. How it's always just friends. But I mean, really.
Yeah, we're just
what
friends.
did that really represent? I mean, you gave me.
There was a lot of roses. Really.
Why did you say that rose means that you're different from the rest?
Okay, so
let's just really
I never really told her this, but
yeah,
I already started having feelings. And one thing that a guy can do to,
he never said
put
this.
the grip on a woman, or to put themselves in an imprint on a woman, is to do a gesture like that, right? You want to.
It definitely stood out. It definitely imprinted me. I've never had somebody do that for me.
See,
ever. I mean, I have had roses before, but not like a surprise in person.
Yeah,
okay?
that's how much guys suck.
In person. Wait, hold on. Wait, I take that back. No, I've had that before. But just with the rose in the middle part, But anyway.
Yeah, you're getting people lost.
Sorry.
Anyways.
It was special the way that it was delivered. How about that?
Yes.
Yes. Stood out.
You really want to know?
Yeah.
It was a great way of
I mean, I even gave you something for Valentine's Day. Later on.
Yeah.
Later on. So this is in November.
She gave me sexy time for Valentine's.
Was that? I'm blushing. I'm getting hot. But see, that was in the fall. That was in November. You remember November of 2016 when we just first met that year, and then Valentine's Day of 2018. I surprised him with something. But anyway, so yeah, what did the flowers? You were going into What did that really mean?
So I gave the flowers to 3 different people. I gave one to a woman. I gave one to a really good friend of ours, and I gave one to her. I gave one to her because I kind of liked her. No, I didn't kind of like her. I really enjoyed her vibes. Look at her, she's attractive. And to prove a point that you can give nice things or flowers, do kind gestures for just friends, that's one of the reasons I did it. The other reason is, and it's kind of a guy thing, is you do something nice and hopefully it imprints and they'll think about you. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Was it to get into somebody's pants? No. Was it to make somebody feel special? Absolutely. Was it to get something from them? No. Was it to, in a time like we have today in our society, not enough people are showing appreciation, giving words of affirmations, of encouragement. So that was another reason, was to do it because they deserve it. Yeah. They deserve it. And at that point in my life and at the time, she became a huge part of my life because we had seen each other every single day, by going to 58 Degrees, creating a little culture or a little community where we can chit-chat about life, ask simple questions about, if you think about your family life, what could you do to improve upon it? Simple stuff like that. Yeah. Like if you wanted to adjust your career or create something more for your life, what would be the 1 or 2 steps that you can take right now to improve upon it? Just simple stuff. Or how is your heart feeling today? Just simple questions that people don't normally ask, but gets them to think. And when you get to think about something else besides stress, it feels good. It feels good. So the flowers make people feel special. 2, make them feel special. Because there's not a lot of people who take the time, let alone friends, to make each other feel like they're needed, to feel like they're appreciated, to feel like they, actually stand out. Just think about it. If you're in a group of people, or if you have a group of friends, shouldn't they be special because they're friends with you? Shouldn't they be rewarded for being good to you? Too often these days, what I've realized is people just be friends just to be friends. Just to be friends. There's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, there's not a lot of value in it either. And
depth and meaningful conversations.
Because that means you could just leave whenever. You could just leave whenever. You see, people aren't too heavily invested in each other's lives, and they feel like they can come and go because they don't have anything invested. You see, but if you actually make people feel good besides yourself, maybe perhaps, it will create a deeper, fulfilling friendship. And that's what it was for me and her.
Thank you. And I really appreciated it. I really felt seen even more.
Yeah, and I didn't even realize that.
It definitely gave me butterflies. Huh?
She still has the
I still
flowers.
have it. Yeah, of course. It represents just our relationship, and it's something to remember you by.
Exactly.
So, so that going into the beginning of 2018, knowing that I was in the friend zone because of the last conversation, I had a decision to make. Either one, does it hurt that bad where I need to kind of discontinue this friendship?
Or play the fence, play the field.
Or do I continue...
Step into the past, step into the future.
Really test myself to see what this means and not be so pressured with, I need to know now. Like, this needs to happen now. And I actually chose having a relationship over a romantic relationship. So we continue to see each other, and yes, he invited me over cuddles. So I just kind of took it one thing at a time, and when we were intimate, I definitely had the awareness, like, okay, Quinn, like, are you putting yourself in a situation where it's only benefiting him, or is this a benefit of you too? And are you protecting yourself? Because what if you continue getting hurt in the end, And to be honest with you guys, I had this conversation with myself so much, and something in the back of my mind kept on saying, he is worth it. He is worth it to really see what will become of this, because it was just too good for me. The friendship, the connection was too good, and just knowing who he is just, I couldn't get away from it. And but of course, it was like, I knew there was going to be a certain point. If it hurt too much, I knew I needed to draw a line at some point. But that opened the door of really being friends with Benny's, as you said.
Exactly.
As you said.
Because a lot of people step into the past to to minimize those feelings or whatnot, and then they step back into the future.
Yes. So there was a few things that was making it, which actually like put off us really going there. It accelerated us finally being committed, but that's way later. We'll get to that. But I had an ex that was coming into my life, attempting to come back into my life.
And they did.
And they did. And in my mind, I knew that I was over it. In my mind, I knew that I still care for this person, but no longer in like a romantic, futuristic, like, oh yeah, but
the body.
But the body said something different, unfortunately. Oh, stop it. And I just want to highlight something, and you might be hearing this and saying, Quinn, like, how could you, what a way to be true to how you feel for this person. You're going to go around and sleep with your ex. And I will just say, looking back, it was because I was in too much pain, because this related to me once again being in a situation where I felt like I was chasing the person versus that person chasing me, and I let my insecurities of not being loved, not being wanted, be filled by someone else, and that was like constantly was being poking at me, and I thought I could trust myself with this person, but in actuality, my body was still very like attached, and because I was still recovering from this hole of heartbreaks and not being wanted. So that was going on as well. You didn't know. I'm so sorry. You didn't know. But see, we obviously we talked about this before. Humans.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Humans. All of our emotions and lack of consistent self-love practices will put you in these situations where you know that you didn't mean to do it, but then it freaking happened. So we'll leave you guys with that. Just some layers with a mixture of the energy, what's going on.
Exactly.
And, and looking back, you had every right to really take your time and seeing what we mean and still being in the friendship zone, especially when you knew, and I did share with you, you knew that this person was coming back in my life. So, if I could put myself in his shoes, I would have been kind of like, oh.
Everybody has a choice.
Too. Yeah.
And maybe the next video we'll finally get to the question I asked her, because the reason why she was in the friend zone is the big one is she didn't know why we would be good together.
Yes, I couldn't
answer the question.
You did ask me that while we were like laying right next to each other.
Exactly.
So yeah, and then the next video we will share what his answer was after me giving him the answer.
Right.
We've been through a lot, you guys, but the most important thing is this man always allowed the space to clear, even though I was being a chicken shit. I was being so afraid because I didn't want him to leave me or have our relationship be gone, and we do get afraid of that, sharing something that we're not proud of ourselves for doing.
Brave.
and that we share with that. There's so much shame around that, and it got really intense, you guys. We had to clear everything before we committed.
Yeah.
So
she did, not me.
Yes. Yeah, he didn't really have much to clear.
I'm not placing anybody. I'm just kidding. She's great. She's great.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys. We will see you in the next one. Leave your comments down below. Subscribe to this if you want to see the next videos and continuing on forth. And thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. And to be continued the next episode of UNCUT relationship series.
Yeah. Bye.